Making Tax digital feature. I know a lot of people have sort of been waiting for this, so hopefully it's something that you will find helpful with all the new changes. And like I said, any questions, just let us know, or if there's anything after the session, feel free to pop me an email and I'll be happy to help. So the first part is setting up for MTD. So what you would need to do is just pop in your agent reference number for HMRC to connect your account. This will basically create a pop-up and you will sign in using your government gateway. So once that's done, you'll be able to see that this is active here and you'll be able to start doing your MTD submissions from Stream Connect. The next part of setting up is just making sure that everyone that you are working on MTD for is connected on Stream Connect. So you can use the different tabs here. So you've got connected, not connected, anyone that's due, anyone that's overdue, and anyone that's excluded. If you do have any clients that need to be signed up to MTD, you can click on the sign up a client on gov.uk link here and you'll be able to create them an account. Once that's done, what you would do is just click manage on the client and that's basically going to pull up their client account, pop in their national insurance number, and then what you're going to do is check authorization and link client, and then they're going to be good to go for to do submissions. The next part is managing the client MTD dashboard, which was the part that I'd mentioned with the different links here. But then you also have an internal dashboard for each client. You can see we've split the different quarters here. So you've got the different dates where you need to do the different submissions for. And you'll be able to see here that each quarter is slightly different. So you can see with this one, it's fulfilled. This one's due and it tells you the date and it also tells you when it's available to start doing the submission from. And then these two will just sit as upcoming. So once you are ready to do that, you can either click view submission once you've done the quarter, or when this one becomes available here, you can start your next report. So to create an MTD report, there's two different options. This option is to manually do it. So you would click the tax analyze button, create MTD report, and this is going to pop up here. You would select the bank and the account that you want to use, and then the date range. So you'll be able to see here that we've got the different filters here, or you can just put whatever date range you want in. Select the business, select the industry and occupation, and then if they are CIS, just make sure you click to enable the CIS options, and that's going to start building the report for you. It takes about 5 minutes and the manager of the client will receive an email just to say that that report's done, and you'll also get a notification just up here to say that that's built as well. Johnny, just to check, has there been any questions in the chat yet just before I move on?
None so far, just obviously about the recording. Yep, so what we'll do is after we finish the webinar, we'll send the recording round as well so everyone gets a copy of that. And also we can answer any questions if you get in touch also.
Well, so yeah, so now it comes on to the editing of the report. So you would just click the report that you want to edit, and then basically what it's going to do is pull into here. And I'm just going to take this back slightly. So you'll be able to see all of the different group transactions here that have been created. You'll be able to see that some already have tax codes in, and you'll be able to see the AI confidence here is confirmed on this one because you have already confirmed it. The ones that show as low here, what they are is anyone that the system has decided, we think this is the right tax code, but we just need you to confirm it. I'm just going to go back because it's just skipping slightly ahead. There we go. Right, so just with the edit here, 2 ticks, there we go. Yeah, so it's going to pull through the profit and loss, and then you've also got the bank expenditure and revenue, which are the main parts that are sort of pulling through, and I'll go through the tabs slightly later. So the smart confirm here, which is the low confidence, The more reporting that you do, the more this smart confirm is going to be accurate. So as you can see, this is the first report that we're doing on this client. So you've got a lot of low confidence tax codes. However, for each quarter that you do, the system is going to learn how you code these different transactions, and you'll get medium and high confidence as well. So it's going to make it much quicker when it comes to doing the different reports, because you're going to be able to just go through and confirm each of these in both the expenditure and the revenue. The next part is the CIS transactions. So if you did click that CIS on for the client, what you're going to do is come into the transaction, and basically you would click into the individual transactions, which are these ones here. And then you're going to move down into the CIS tab here, click CIS, and then you're going to select the rate. So you've got either the 20 or 30% here. The system's going to automatically work out the CIS amount, and then it'll pull into the profit and loss correctly for that. The next part is document requests. So this is one of the newest features that we've created. So you would just click into the transaction that you want to request a document for, and I'm just going to pause this here just so you can see this. So I've gone into where there's 3 different transactions for this grouped supplier here, and I want to click down into, say, this one specific transaction. Click this docs button, and again, this is going to skip for me. So we'll just pull that back, and you would basically just click the docs button, which is in that column there. And then you're going to click request documents, which is up here. You'll see all of the different transactions that you've got. You can enable cash income and expense section for the client as well. And then you're going to review all the different transactions, pop notes in if you want the client to see them. And then you're also going to be able to choose whether it's an email or a text that you're going to send the client. The client will then receive a secure link to upload the documentation for the selected transactions, and the link expires after 30 days. But if they upload one document for one transaction, that link is still going to be there if they then need to upload the other documents as well. There is an extra part of this that we are currently building that I will mention later on in the presentation as well, that may be of interest to a few people. The next part is journal templates. So you can come into your tabs at the top here, so where you've got your reports, you've got custom tax codes, and you've also got journal templates. So with the journal templates, you would just click add, and you're basically going to put your name, business type, description, tax code, and if it's a debit or credit in here. You save that, and then you go back into the report that you were editing, click into journals, and you can apply the template. So just select whichever one it is that you're wanting to use, and you'll be able to see that's popped up there. So if there's a client where you know that you need to add one of these templates for each of the quarters, that's going to be there for you to do. The additional tabs that we have are cash income and expenses, which you can just add rows as and when you want to do that. Just make sure you pop in the tax code, the dates, the suppliers. The journals, again, you can just add these in. One of the key things is to make sure that the net stays as 0 on here as well. And you've also got mileage and allowance. So again, just add a new row, pop in the site location, pop in the mileage, the frequency, if they work any weekends, and if it's a return, pop in the mileage, and then what that's going to do is work out your claim. And then when you come back into the profit and loss here, you're going to see the car, van and travel tab. And the method used, you can either select the mileage or you can select the receipts, whichever one you would want to use for that. The next thing is the capital account. I know we've had a few questions just on the people that have been beta testing with this as well, with a couple of other transactions that they've been asking about. Just with the quarters as well, there is a few things such as like the HMRC payments and things that you can just pop into capital account just for the quarterly submissions. But again, this is something that we're working on where you will be able to do the tax codes and you'll be able to name them, so it makes it easier for the end of year submissions as well. So I'll go into that just a bit later on.
I'll just jump in there, Nicole. We've got
Yeah.
lots of questions, obviously, in the chat, so I just want to run through them to make sure, obviously, everyone can see them. Trudy asked, can you build more than one report in the analyze section? And yep, that's absolutely fine. You can definitely do more than one report on that side. And Mia asked, does it connect with personal bank accounts as well as business bank accounts? And it does. Yep, you can connect personal and business accounts, and also credit cards, what Stephen requested. And we've literally added capital on tap recently on that section as well. Stephen asked about the private percentages. So loss, you can basically go on the profit and loss, and on each code you can set a private use on there, but you can also use your custom tax codes within there as well. So if you create a custom tax code, and let's say you want to say it's BMW as an example, you can set a 50% private use automatically on that. So every time it gets coded to that, it does it individually rather than obviously just the whole motor expenses code. A good one from Kim was basically saying around the multiple documents. So when you tick the boxes, Kim, on that part, on the docs, let's say you tick 4, it all goes as one request basically. And what happens is the client gets a text with a link, a bit like how the bank links work currently. They click on the link and all the transactions will be there on one page for them to answer. They can also add cash income and expenses into that section as well. And we are going to be adding also where they can do their mileage throughout the year on there as well. So obviously that's all going there, and that's just one request. And also, if you already send the request, but you've actually missed one by accident, if you then tick that one after, it doesn't send a new request. It just updates the existing one. So when they click their link, that new transaction will be there for them as well. Stephen's asked, can we use WhatsApp for the messaging? Yep, we can basically use copy link. So a bit like what we do on the bank links again, you can press copy link and then copy and paste that into your WhatsApp again as well. One final one from Stephen. How would I start using this? Have a note. So basically what happens is, Stephen, even if you've submitted your first quarter through Dext or any other software, you can link them through Streem, through filled, obviously your fulfilled MTD returns, so we can show you what you've submitted so far. There would be a little tweak where we'd probably said then you'd have to, which we've put in the back end, where you analyze that quarter and then we manually add what you've submitted against, like added on hours to give you the cumulative as well. All right, so there's a little quirk on that, but I can run through that with you if you want to test that on that client as well. Great, perfect. Thanks, guys. Keep the questions coming, and I'll jump back on when I get a few more.
Well. And then the final thing is just submitting to HMRC. So with the profit and loss, you'll be able to see that this is all getting filled out here. This little tab here, you'll be able to see that there's 13 of 42 items confirmed in the expenditure and revenue. So this is basically just keeping you right and telling you how many more groups there is to confirm. So once that's all done, this little button here will flag up as green and you'll be able to file straight to HMRC. It's not something that we're able to show in the video, just with us not doing the filing and just us using the demo account, but you will be able to see that. And if anyone is wanting to do their first filing and wants us to jump on just to make sure that everything's right before you do that, we're more than happy to do that as well. Features on the way. So just in Johnny's questions there, I think you'd mentioned one of them, so sort of stole my thunder with the client mileage requests, but it is something that we are bringing, as well as the client query requests and notes as well. So just in the document requests, just a bit of feedback that we've had is people would like the queries to be on there as well. So whether that's a query about a specific transaction and you want the client to send you a note back to explain what that is, Or say, for example, you pick up the phone to your client and you get the notes, you're able to then put them into the transaction and you can manually tick off those document requests as well. So you don't have to wait for your client to upload them via a link, say if they do prefer to use WhatsApp, which I know someone's just mentioned as well, you're able to do that. We're also going to have the tags that show on a client as well. So when you set up your client within Stream Connect, no, you'll have seen the tags that you can add. So whether that you put payroll, CIS, whatever else it is that you want. Again, some feedback that we'd had was people would like to see like the industry, occupation, that sort of thing, and if they are CIS. So when it comes to building that report, you'll be able to see those tags just so it means that you don't have to go and search for the client details each time that you're creating a report. And you're also going to be able to make your own tags as well for the capital account transactions, which helps with the end of year submissions. So when it comes to the tax codes, which you can make your own tax codes as long as it maps back to the HMRC coding, you'll be able to do that for the capital account. So you'll be able to add all of them, which just makes it a bit quicker and easier when it comes to end of year. And that is pretty much it. So it's fairly straightforward. We've made the system as simple as possible because we know there's a lot of extra work involved. But like I said, we're here to help. And if there is any other questions, just feel free to get in touch. But is there any other questions in the chat at the minute, Johnny?
Yeah, there is. So obviously Stephen's asked, can we see the export analysis file? I think it might be worth just sharing my screen for a bit, Nicole, if I can do that, possibly.
Yeah, of course.
Just so I can show them around a few things. So yeah, the export analysis file is basically, just going to open it up for you so you can see that. So it's very much like the analyzer was before. Within there, you've got your profit and loss within here, which are broken down. You've got your bank revenue and expenditure tab, which it shows where you've coded everything also. You've got your cash income and expenses. So basically all your tabs within Stream Connect. Obviously you can see that pretty straight. It's basically copying that, and you've got your mileage in there, and then you've got your actual bank statement and things like that. I know another question asked was basically around the capital expenditure. I think that's what Stephen means on that one. So when you actually come into here now, as you can see on your tabs, you've got fixed assets. So anything you code to fixed assets, it gives you a breakdown there, just so you know for obviously end of year, that when that comes, you could do your capital allowances and things like that as well. So we've got all that stuff in there. Just having a look at a couple of questions. We had a few more through. Yep, for Charlie, there is a bridging option also on the for spreadsheet clients. Basically, when you come through to file MTD, you can press bridging rather than use the analyze report. And all it is, you've got your spreadsheet and it's just a mapping process. So you literally map that in, what boxes income in and stuff like that. And that's obviously thing, and I can run through that with you as well. Also, we've done a video on that, so I can obviously send the video out on that as well for you. And then Carly's asked, it's live as of a couple of Fridays ago, we made it live. So it's in there now for you to test and have a run through. And I think if anyone needs any help on stuff, we always here, we can jump on a demo with you one-to-one and run through stuff like that as well for you.
Well, I think there was just Stephen's question as well about tagging the CIS deductions and things as well, Johnny.
So could we tag items like CIS deducted? So CIS deducted, yep. So we've obviously got the CIS deducted part within the software. So when you go on your expenditure and your individual items, you can tick the CIS. And then what that'll do is it'll work out. You can basically have another tab for, is that right? See if he answers back. Well, he obviously is answering. Trudy as well. So can we submit CIS returns through Streem? This is what we are thinking of working on at the moment, because we obviously have done quite a lot of work on the CIS deducted part within Streem, and obviously suffered as well. So it definitely could be on the roadmap, but it's obviously, that would probably be a good few months away before we can bring that in as well, because we'd have to get the integration with HMRC on that side. Irene, can Stream Connect do? No, we can't do sales invoice raising, unfortunately, Irene. We can request documents, so you can put that on the document request for people to upload sales invoices if that's what you wanted to do. Exactly the same as purchases, and also on the document request, we've got a cash income and expenses part where people can obviously dump cash income and expenses, file dump them in there now as well for you. So they could, in effect, put the sales invoices in there for you, but we can't raise sales invoices through the system.
Stephen just mentioned you were breaking up, I think, when you were asking him about his question as well.
Yeah, sorry, Stephen. Yes, CIS, I just mentioned around the CIS deducted part, where that's obviously in the expenditure tab, and you can obviously do journals for it as well. But in the expenditure, you can tell the CIS deducted. I'm wondering whether you basically wanted another tab on there with a breakdown of them, possibly to help you with your submissions. Is that what you were asking? Because the fixed assets tab is there now for equipment purchased. Are you saying that you would like another one just for CIS deducted, so you've got a breakdown of them? Is that what you're mentioning? Okay, great. All right, let me put that on the roadmap. To be honest, we might be able to make it a bit like the capital account, I'm thinking, where we could obviously have on the capital account, we've got the expenditure and revenue. So it might be worth having one for CIS, and on that would be CIS and income, CIS on expenses or expenditure, really. So we could probably work it a bit like that, and then you'd have a nice breakdown each quarter from that point of view as well. Do you think that would work? Yeah, perfect. Great.
Well,
I've looked into CIS, but I asked about the sales invoices. CIS stuff it could be seen. Yeah, so you can work the CIS suffered back from the bank, because we do back over, so we do net to gross for you. And obviously on that, when you do put the materials in, it works obviously again, it works out for you, and there's a calculation on that, if that would be worthwhile. And then if you could just ask the client to dump all the CIS suffered in the actual client request documentation thing, if they could dump everything in there, that would obviously fix quite a bit of that. But if you want, Irene, we can have a catch up on that really, and see how you work, and see if we can look for you on that. Douglas, we're literally doing all the training videos, and we're going to upload them all to our YouTube. It'll be under an MTD playlist, and we've got playlists for everything across the software now. So that's going to be going live this week as well for you. So what we'll probably do is we'll send this recording round, but also we'll include the I keep breaking up. Can everyone hear me okay? Can you hear me okay, Nicole?
yeah, you keep kind of going like a robot, but then it keeps pulling back. I'm assuming it's the Wi-Fi downstairs.
All right. Okay. Apologies. But basically, we're going to upload all the training videos on our YouTube channel, and we'll send that round as well, so you can see all that.
Well, just one thing as well while you're sharing your screen, would you mind just jumping on the tax codes side of things? Just because I know it's something that we still need to record in terms of the training videos as well. Is that something
Yeah.
you could just quickly show?
So basically, the tax codes part, when you come into the custom tax codes, what you can do now is you can add a custom tax code within here, and you can obviously give it its own tax code. So the one I used before was like a BMW. So let's say they've got a BMW, 50% private use. You can then select the business type. So if it's self-employment, you have to map that to an MTD code. So obviously that won't be car, van and travel. And then you can set disallowable percentages just for that code. So if you set that as 50%, when you select that code, all them expenses will be 50% discounted basically for private use. And you can use that code within any of these tabs to obviously code that too as well. And you can have as many of them as you want. Another thing you could probably do on that, which we're obviously looking at now, is use this as a bit of a balance sheet as well if you wanted to. So you could put a couple of balance sheet items, and you can map that to obviously capital account. We're just going to activate that today, hopefully. And then what that can do is then it helps you with your mapping process for your export. So when you export to Excel, you've got a breakdown of all that as well.
Well,
Great. I'll just see if there's any more questions. Seem to be flying through. Yeah, so Stephen, again, this will deal with self-employment and UK property income sources, and it does both as well, exactly that. So what would happen is if you've got someone who's got self-employment and property, there'll be two fulfillments come through. So the 4 boxes at the start, there'll be a 4 box for self-employment, 4 boxes for property as well. One thing we're bringing in at the minute is basically if people own property jointly. So if you've got like 50-50 share on that, we're going to be bringing it in where you can set that up within the system. So when you do one analyze report, you can share that between 2 people and it'll do 50% of the profits to each, basically, for MTD as well. I have some on several scenarios where we only need the report for the half for one spouse and not, yeah. So that joint part there that I was mentioning there would take care of that. So you'd say that it's 50% split, but then you'd be able to use that analyze report to do that. All right, so that's what we're going to be bringing in. What if the client is using one bank account for 2 trades? So what would then have to happen is on that one, you would have to do, I imagine there's going to be 2 fulfillments come through. There'll be 1 trade comes through and another trade comes through. If they're using 2 trades for 1 bank account, on one of the analyze reports, you'd have to obviously capital account everything that's to do with the other trade and then vice versa on the other. So you'd obviously want to analyze, like put things into profit and loss, what relates to each trade. Everything else would obviously have to be capital account so that it doesn't get counted in the MTD trades and it doesn't obviously then counteract. And then obviously once you've done that as well, it'll remember that going forward for you.
I think that's all of the questions, unless anyone has any last minute ones. But yeah, the training videos will hit the YouTube channel this week, and anyone that has any other questions, just feel free to get in touch. We can do demos with the full team if needs be. And yeah, we're here to help as you sort of start working on the MTD side of things, because I know it's new to everyone. So yeah, hopefully we can help with that.
Great. I just want to check, is there any more questions? Everyone happy with that?